Greetings all, and welcome to Dave's Craft Room. I'm Dave, and on today's video, I have a very exciting unboxing. This is a box from Fat Quarter Shop, and it contains, I believe, Karen Nyberg's collection called Earth Fuse. And if you don't know who Karen Nyberg is, first of all, I find it so weird that you don't know who she is, but Karen Nyberg is an astronaut. She spent I think 6 months on the space station, and while she was up there, she brought with her a sewing kit that she kept on her little Velcro pad, and she floated around up there and with a needle and thread made a quilt block. She also invited all of the citizens of the planet Earth to make their own quilt blocks and send them in, inspired by stars. The quilt blocks were supposed to be inspired by the stars. So people sent in many thousands of quilt blocks from all over the planet Earth, and they made quilts out of them, which you can go see in I think Houston or something, including her own block that she sewed in outer space while she was floating around, and her hair was sticking up like this. You can see it in the video. You could also watch her wash her hair. But she was also taking photographs. She took photographs and she designed this fabric based off of the photographs that she took in outer space. It's called Earth Views. Obviously, I overbought, but we're gonna have enough, I hope, to make all the quilts that I want to make. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. The fabric is so gorgeous. This, I remember now, this is the solids Earth Views coordinates, okay? So these are solids. I don't think she designed them. Well, you can't really design a solid, but these are solids that are meant to go with the fabric that she designed. Here we have jelly rolls of it. Stunning. Okay, so here we get to the bulk of, there's a layer cake. Oh my gosh, I ordered 2 layer cakes. If there's extra, I'm just gonna send it to my mom. I can't believe I ordered 2 layer cakes. Maybe the layer cake is gonna be the best way to actually look at the prints. This is the collection that she designed for Robert Kaufman, and they're based on photographs she took as she looked out of the cupola at the Earth from the space station. In addition to the fabric, she also has patterns available on her website that you can make with it. So my plan for this video is to make one of the patterns. I plan to make additional patterns in other videos. Stunning. So I have all the prints here. The problem with charms and even 10-inch squares, you can't really pre-wash them. I like to pre-wash. I'm a pre-wash person. I have this. I'm gonna keep all these in the pack for now. But and I have all of these. These I think are half yards. These we can and will pre-wash. A couple of them were sold out. I hope that means that the line is successful, although if it's successful, they need to make more. I wanted to buy the Fat Quarter bundle like this, because they had one of these of the fabric, but it wasn't sold out. So that's why I couldn't, I had to do it this way, but that's okay, because whatever we don't use will go in the stash. It will all get used, and then I can also send it to my mom. Maybe I'm already gonna send her one of these charm packs. We are not afraid of a challenge on this channel. But we are gonna pre-wash. We are afraid of shrinkage, so we're gonna pre-wash. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-wash all of these. These are gonna be fine. They'll just be fine, I declare. And these, I'm gonna pre-wash the... So, that's what we're gonna do now. Okay guys, so I've made some decisions. We're a little bit later in time now, but I've made some decisions. I'm gonna make 3 quilts out of the Karen Nyberg Earth Fuse fabric. I'm gonna make this one and the cupola one, and then a third one that I'm designing myself. First, I'm gonna make this one, Orbital Views, and then couple of views, I'll probably make it another video. This one looks pretty easy. It's actually a little too small. It's only 48 by 60 inches as a throw. I want to make a bigger quilt than that. So I will probably make it bigger. You know what? Okay, this is like Earth and planetary and everything, so we need to recycle. I have here this whole, I'm literally overflowing with t-shirt jersey. T-shirt jersey sandcastle. Black. This is cut up from t-shirt quilts that I've made, and I have so much of it I need to use it. I'm gonna use t-shirt jersey for the background. I realize that's a bit unorthodox, and t-shirt jersey is horrible to work with. But look how much of it I have. Like, I got to do something with this t-shirt jersey. You may notice some of the blacks are different. We call that interest. Cool! So then, let's see what this pattern even calls for. We need 8 10-inch squares and 23 5-inch squares, easy. Guys, I'm doing more than what they're calling for. I'm gonna make more. So I'm not gonna follow the pattern exactly because I want a bigger quilt. That's way more than I needed. What have I done? 9. I'm gonna use 10 instead of 8. And then 23 of these. Usable webbing. So this quilt calls for raw edge applique. I don't want to do raw edge applique. I want to turn my edge under. So I think I'm gonna use this. This is a glue pen around the edges, and then I'll do with this tiny iron, turn the edges over, and then top stitch it down using Karen's thread, because I have her thread too. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Stunning. Okay, well, let's put it back, but this is her thread. Okay, so I mean, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? We just have a big panel, the size I want. We cut our circles. There's a list of what circles to cut. We put them on. That's it. So here I go. My first step is piecing this black t-shirt jersey background. T-shirt jersey would be my first choice of fabric to use for this, but I have so many large scraps from making t-shirt quilts, and I hate to throw it away because it's such a waste, but it's also hard to use, so that's why I decided to recycle it and use it for this. The key word for working with t-shirt jersey is ballpoint needle. You need to use the ballpoint needle because it goes between the fibers of the jersey instead of breaking through them. If you break through them, that can weaken it at the seams. The pattern had the circle sizes all inside of each other like this, so the way I cut them out is I started with the biggest one, tracing around it onto the back of the fabric, and then I cut it out of the fabric, eyeballing an extra 1/4 inch around the line so that I'd have something to turn under. Then on the paper with the pattern, I cut away the outer circle to expose the smaller one underneath, and I proceeded with those until I had all my circles cut out. I used a washable glue stick and a tiny iron to turn all the edges under. I like to be very liberal with the glue stick because it holds better and I know that the glue is going to wash out in the end. My plan is to use glue stick to baste the circles onto the panel where I want them, and then put my quilt sandwich together and then applique the circles on as part of the quilting. I have my quilt sandwiched together and I'm appliquing the circles into the quilting with my free motion foot. I'm still practicing with the free motion foot, so sometimes I go around a circle twice if the first time was not beautiful and lovely. Once I have the circles appliqued and quilted in, I do some free motion swirlies around the circles and then finish the rest of the quilting with a walking foot and vertical lines. Alright, so this quilt is actually pretty much done, but I couldn't help feeling like it needs something more. And I have this big open space here in the middle, and I decided that I want to put words in it. I've been doing some research on some like space themed quotes, because I really like Carl Sagan and the things he says. So I found a quote by Carl Sagan that says, "All civilizations become either spacefaring or extinct." And for some reason, that quote stuck with me in my brain, and I want to put just that phrase right here, spacefaring or extinct. I have freezer paper, and I think I'm gonna print the font, Helvetica font, on freezer paper, but then I have to figure out how to backwards it because it has to be mirror image. And then I'm gonna use the freezer paper to do the applique. Cut it out, iron it onto one of Karen's roly-poly things. What are those called? What is that called? A jelly roll. One of Karen's jelly roll strips. I'll probably pick this blue one on the outside because it's got a nice color to contrast with the, oh geez, schmutz from this is getting on the quilt. That's okay because it'll just come off. Matter of fact, it's because the edges are pinked, so loads of the little fibers are coming off, but it's not gonna hurt anything. Yeah, so this blue one might probably be my best choice to use for it. Not Arial fonts. I hate Arial. I want Helvetica. It's not gonna work because it's too small. I just decided to draw my own letters because the printed letters were too small and they didn't look right to me.
This is my 9/11 quilt. And you look
Oh
at
my
it, it
gosh.
really has-
That was an earthquake.
First, I draw the letters, then I cut them out of the freezer paper, and then I iron them onto the back of the jelly roll strip. I didn't need to put them in order, but I did that just to make sure that I had each one and didn't lose any. Then I cut the letters out, preparing them for turning the edges under. The purpose of the freezer paper is to hold the shape of the letter while I iron the edge of the fabric over it. I use the iron to put a crease in the fabric in the shape of the letter, then I peel the freezer paper off and use a washable glue stick to glue those edges down.
The end is backwards. Oh well.
The last step is to top stitch around the edge of each letter with my free motion foot. And this is the final result. I was originally lukewarm about this quilt, but I actually turned out to really like it. I think it has kind of a folk art quality that I enjoy. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching and please come again.